Hey guys, welcome back. 5-Hour Show, Raymond here. Let's get started. So what do we have here? As you can see, this is, of course, it's in English, battle figure. Senso figure, okay? Now it's got the ability to stand, it's got posing abilities. But here's the thing. It is the dummy 13 version 1.0 made by Gabriel Rosiak in 2024. So I'm guessing this guy 3D printed this figure or whatever and he mass produced it. So I'm not 100% sure on the story, but as I was shopping here in Tokyo, Japan, I came across this at the dollar shop, the 100 yen shop. And I thought, oh man, that's pretty cool. It looks like a fully posable figure. And as you can see here, it comes with buki pots, gomai, hando pots, sanmai. So it comes with 5 weapons and 3 different types of hands or posed hands. So it would be like this or like this or like, you know, with a gap in the fist or a closed fist. So here's the thing. I picked this up at the 100 yen shop and I said, man, I really want to build this. So of course I bought a few. This thing is really, really cool. All right. But I'm not going to bother you guys with you watching me build this thing, okay? That's not going to happen, all right? So, here's the front of the package, and here is the back of the package. And as you can see, there is just so much that you have to go by. This takes half an hour to build, up until you get to the point where you know the parts by heart, and then you can start building them even quicker. Okay, but once again, this cost me 100 yen, which equals to US dollars 62 cents. You heard that right, 62 cents. Okay, so anyway, let's build it. And there we go. The instructions, again, you're going, if you're an old man like I am, you're going to need a magnifying glass because, man, it was hard to see those numbers and according to the instructions, which numbers went to which one. So as you can see, the black circle white numbers go to the black section. The white circle black numbers go to the orange section. But you understand what I'm saying. These numbers correspond to the black parts. Those numbers correspond to the orange parts. And once again, the first one took me about half an hour. And here we go. Here is the figure. It took half an hour to make, first one. Second one, you know, it gets quicker and quicker, as I mentioned before. The posability is insane. It is a very cool figure. You can, I'm presuming, I haven't done it yet, but I'm presuming you could modify it, customize it, sculpt parts or muscles onto it. I myself actually prefer to have this robotic aesthetic. So it's kind of like a robotic soldier, an AI robo battle soldier. So I think that's really cool. And once again, it comes with these fists that you can hold weapons with. So for instance, it's got an axe that you can, you know, put on there and you can switch out the hand from the open hand gesture to the holding of a weapon gesture. You see? But I think that's not that great. The weapons that it comes with are not that great. There's a staff. There's a staff there. There's a katana sword. And then there's this little gun, which is, you know, it's really lacking in detail. So whereas the robot itself, the figure, is really, really nice, very posable, very agile, very sturdy. In some cases, there's a few issues, but you'll get over it. It comes with a very sorry, sad set of weapons. And here's the other one I didn't get to show you was this knife. I misplaced it somewhere, but it's got this knife there. However, the toy itself, minus the weapons and all that, is very nice. Okay, it's really cool. I really dig it. The only thing I thought was, you know what? Even just the colors themselves, I like the dark orange with the black. I can see how it's, you know, it looks menacing. However, I did have an issue with his weapons. Once again, the toy itself, beautiful piece. The weapons it comes with, not so beautiful, not so nice. But once again, 100 yen, wonderful value. But I did not like the weapons. And I removed his fist for a reason. Enter a better weapon. This is a miniature Gatling gun. Now it says non-scale size, but you know what? That's not true. This figure is a 13.4 centimeter, which making it a 1/12 scale. This weapon here is perfect for the scale of this figure. But here, you're not gonna watch me build it. And there we go. I have built it. Now this part here, I didn't build it for obvious reason. This is just a display stand for the weapon itself. But here is now the weapon. It's the Gatling gun, which is also 100 yen, bringing it out to 62 US dollars, 62 cents. And as you can see, I already jammed in the opened hand for the figure. Now, of course, granted, the hand on this one is open and you can jam it into the handle of the minigun itself. Now, the left-handed open fist with the gap does not fit perfectly with the handle of the minigun, which is fine. But you can mimic holding it. And to me, that was actually just really cool. And you can bring it up higher, you can bring it up lower. Because it is a robot, weight is not an issue. But as you can see there, that is pretty cool. And all this is, you know, 124 cents. $1.24, ladies and gentlemen. This figure and that weapon cost me a whopping $1.24. Japanese, 220 yen. Okay? With taxes, whatever. But look at this figure. Look at that. That is just cool. I'll be back. You know, so yes, I know, guys, I'm a nerd. But that's the thing is like, when you build things like this, it's so cool. Look at this. You know, you can customize this figure, as I mentioned before, but I prefer to keep it as a robot, figure. And all it would need is a couple of spray apps, a little damage or whatever. And before you did that, you would add the stickers that you would want to, a couple of numbers here, some whatever, hazard stickers, this, that, whatever. You could even create, I always have a creative mind. So if I were to use the parts of the toy itself, I could somehow create like I don't know, some kind of an antenna that would go onto the side of the head or on the back. Find some kind of a piece of plastic, create a backpack, whatever. The point is that it could, end up looking even better, and I don't know, man, for the price, it's just pretty cool. And look at the Gatling gun. It's got this realistic detail, Now, of course, in my case, I've noticed that once you build it, it can disassemble easily. So I'll show you very quickly. You see, it just snaps in. So in the future, if you're able to get this weapon, and I'll show you again this weapon. If you're able to get these figures, if you're able to get these weapons, this weapon is called a miniature Gatling gun. Now, it claims it's a non-scale size, but I'm guessing it's good for like a 6-inch figure. But it's again, miniature Gatling gun, and it is made by Yamada. So the Yamada Gatling gun. Very simple to process to put it in, but you may want to use glue. I, however, am not using glue because, yes, it's made in Japan. The reason I don't want to use glue is because I may consider, now I don't know if it'll work, but I may consider getting a motor. Getting a motor. And here's the thing, like, for instance, this part just popped out. You can just slide it back in. It's not, difficult. See? Just slides in. So you can consider, in my case, I was considering putting a motor into it and rigging it so that it can actually spin. But as I looked at motors, it'd have to be a really small one. And I don't know if I can find one, maybe for Tamiya or something. But either way, the weapon makes this figure look even better. So, I mean, you could use this weapon and put it on your Kenner Terminator figure, Terminator 2 figure, whatever. But again, this weapon was also 110 yen. This was so cool when I found it. And of course, I was not wrong. There is the final product. Anyway, that does it for today's 5-hour show. This battle figure and this Gatling gun, of course, made by Yamada. They are a perfect match made in heaven, and they look really cool. And the only thing I can think of would be the, orange robots versus some other colored robots. Because trust me when I tell you that they come in all colors. Yellow, green, white. But I didn't find the blue one. So, anyway, once again, that does it for today's 5-hour show. I hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. This posable action figure and this Gatling gun for a whopping $1. 24 cents. Well, that does it for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. Share, like, comment. Let us know what you think. And with that, I say God bless you in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I will gladly see you guys on the next episode of the 5 Hour Show. You guys take care. See you next time.